Vigeland Park is a wonderful place to spend a few hours on a sunny day in Oslo. Beautiful park to walk around, cycle around, or even just to sit down on the grass and have a barbecue, but also to explore the wonderful sculptures that are all over the park. Really is a good place to visit.
After spending a day in Voss, I headed to my final destination on my Scandinavian tour, which is back to the city of Oslo. Voss is situated about an hour and 20 minutes away from Bergen on the main Bergen to Oslo railway. It's also about 5.5 hours from Oslo. Unfortunately, on the day of my journey, I experienced my first real issue with trains in Scandinavia. After checking out of my hotel, I found that the train was running about an hour late. This was further compounded when there was problems with a train in front of us and also the doors of our train, and we ended up arriving in Oslo over 2 hours behind schedule. My mood, however, wasn't darkened because I had the enjoyment of watching the passing scenery as the train sped through the countryside. Norway is truly a wonderful and diverse place, with waterfalls cascading down mountains, lakes with their crystal clear waters, and evergreen forests lining the railway tracks. Wherever I travelled by train in Norway, the views out the windows were picturesque and awe-inspiring.
Oslo was founded at the end of the Viking Age, about 1040. In the metropolitan area, the population is about 1.7 million. In the city itself, it's about 700,000. It was, during the early part of the 2000s, the fastest growing city in Europe, with a lot of international immigration, but that seems to have slowed down now. So, coming to the end of my Scandinavian tour, I've just got 3 nights in Oslo, so this is my last hotel. So, bathroom, shower, quite nice. Double bed, TV, and this definitely has got a room with a view. In the distance there is the Munch Museum, but before that is the National Opera and Ballet House, and that is a view of Oslo Harbour. So very nice indeed. So I'm here for 3 nights and then heading back to London. So looks like it'll be comfortable.
Svennen is a great cocktail bar in the centre of the city, usually with a good atmosphere. The bartenders are friendly and the cocktails are delicious. I highly recommend that you visit this place for an enjoyable night out. Although there is no real midnight sun south of the Arctic Circle, the sun barely is under the horizon in midsummer, even as far south as Oslo, which can lead to some spectacular sunsets. Oslo Fjord is an inlet of water leading to the city of Oslo. There are many tourist attractions along its banks, including the Munch Museum, the Ballet and Opera House, and the Aker House Fortress. You can also experience a sauna on the banks of Oslo Fjord and jump into the harbour to cool off. The Conservatory was recommended to me as a new and up-and-coming cocktail bar on the Oslo scene. Pre-booking is essential, and you're in for a truly wonderful experience here. 5-star service, together with top-rate cocktails, make this an excellent place to visit when you're in town. Himkok is an institution with the attempt of embodying Norwegian culture through the cocktails created and spirits distilled, staying true to the surrounding nature and accessibility. It has a fully functioning distillery producing its own aquavit, gin and vodka. This allows Himkok to create drinks and products with a pure Nordic taste. If there is one cocktail bar you visit in Oslo, let it be Himkok, as it is pure magic.
Vigeland Park is a wonderful place to spend a few hours on a sunny day in Oslo. Beautiful park to walk around, cycle around, or even just to sit down on the grass and have a barbecue, but also to explore the wonderful sculptures that are all over the park. Really is a good place to visit, to spend a few hours in Oslo.
Getting to Vigeland Sculpture Park couldn't be easier. Tram and bus stops directly outside the main gate, and there is a metro station 10 minutes walk away. From Oslo Central Station, tram line number 12 takes you directly to the park. It takes about 20 minutes, and there are about half a dozen trams every hour along this route. The Sculpture Park in Frogner Park, Oslo, has more than 200 sculptures by Gustav Vigeland in bronze, granite and cast iron. Vigeland was also responsible for the design and architectural outline of the park, which is one of Norway's top tourist attractions and has more than 1 million annual visitors. The park is free to enter, open all year round, 24 hours a day. So who actually was Gustav Vigeland? Well, he was born Adolf Gustav Thorsen, and he was a Norwegian sculptor. Whilst he is most known for his sculptures in Frogner Park, Oslo, he is also the designer of the Nobel Peace Prize medal. His sculptures in the park depict family life from birth to death and beyond, and they truly are a sight to be seen. Edvard Munch and Gustav Vigeland lived at the same time, but they were rivals rather than friends. As young artists, they both lived in Berlin, and they even shared the same hotel dress at one point. Even though they respected each other as artists. They were never close. Munch even accused Vigeland of stealing his idea.
So this is my last day in Oslo and the last day of my Scandinavian tour. I fly back to London tomorrow. Just some reflections. It's been absolutely fantastic. Visit round the 4 countries. Started off flying out to Helsinki. Spent a couple of weeks travelling all the way up to Lapland in Finland. Weather was a little bit iffy, but wasn't too bad. Crossed over to Sweden, travelled down the length of Sweden to Stockholm, then over to Visby in Gotland and enjoyed the medieval ruins and the old town there, before heading across to Copenhagen in Denmark. Spent 5 or 6 days there, which was a lovely city actually, really enjoyed that. Eventually headed up via Gothenburg to Oslo, spent some time in Oslo, sampled a few cocktails, which was very nice, before heading up to Trondheim, up to the Lofoten Islands, which was absolutely stunning. Unfortunately the weather wasn't great. Up to Tromsø into the Arctic Circle, and had a great time there, before jumping on a flight to Kirkenes and boarding the Hurtigruten Coastal Express back down to Bergen. And that was a wonderful 5 days cruise. Saw some whales, got an opportunity to see some reindeer, ate some wonderful food, good journey on the crossing, on the cruise. And then from Bergen went to Flam, went on the famous railway, said to be the most beautiful scenic railway in the world. I would question that, but it's still very, very nice to go on there. Over to Voss, which is a skiing town in Norway. Really beautiful scenes there. And before heading back to Oslo, where I am now. So 70 days, absolutely fantastic time. Lifelong memories have been made. Would love to do it all again, but off to pastures new. Keep following me and you'll find out where my next adventure starts.